times before I was 10. I think you can only go apeshit up until around this age. The first time I went apeshit, I was age 6. I went apeshit on a playground after Girl Scouts. I went to the playground with my sister age 5 to get this doll that she always had with her. It was the kind with the smooth head and body with the plastic legs, and she didn't keep any clothes on it ever. I remember the apeshit rushing through my blood as I saw the doll soaring through the air. 2 boys I perceived as way older but were most likely 10 or 11 were punting it back and forth across the gravel playground. My sister was walking behind me, but I don't know what her face looked like when she saw this or what she sounded like because I went apeshit. When you scream in such a way that your voice rattles your throat, then that is apeshit. That's when your feelings and your voice have a physical texture, and that's how you know it's apeshit. You can only go apeshit publicly and in the company of mostly strangers. Because you are so young when you go apeshit, the witnesses become frightened, but then instantly compassionate, because there's something about apeshit that everybody recognizes. After you go apeshit, you feel a little embarrassed, but only a little, because you understand you have flashed that part of you that is both primal, but also more than human. In my memory, my sister beams with the doll that is dirty now with the gravel playground, and the boys run off whimpering like dogs. The second time I went apeshit, I was 9. The things involved in the incident were a soccer ball, my face, and my glasses. The apeshit brought on once again by 2 older boys, my sister also present. But for the same reasons that true apeshit can only occur up until around age 10, each time you go apeshit, it is less pure, and so I won't go into the second time that I went apeshit. Apeshit occurs at the initial moment when the child self is both shocked and then rebels against the brutality of life. Apeshit is just your first existential crisis. It's that moment just before you realize a lullaby is just a trick to get you to go to sleep. Oh, this is about my brother. I was talking on speakerphone about haircuts while my brother put on a pair of heels. In soccer shorts and a Brazil jersey, he shines a dual laser pointer flashlight from below his face. Standing in the full-length mirror, he says he's going for spooky goofy. He is laughing, and he's 12, and he's walking around in the heels. It reminds me of a cat when you put a bow tie on it or something on its head, like a cat, how it starts walking backwards. And I don't think that he likes the heels as much as he likes the difficulty that they introduce to walking. And he leaves to show my parents watching TV in the other room, and my stomach drops. He comes back defeated, says, "They're a bunch of haters." I asked him why, and he said that they said that the heels were too loud and Mom's dog is going crazy. I feel grateful that he seems to believe it was the sound of the heels that were the problem, and not the heels, and I feel like someone is wearing heels and standing on my ribs. I said, "Fuck that," and we go to find more heels. We walk into the kitchen together in the heels, pretending to rummage through the cabinets. We circle the island of the kitchen at least 10 times, laughing, hermetically sealed, and who gives a flying fuck. He grabbed 2 spoons and a blue glass bowl of red Jell-O, and we go back to my room. Sit on my bed, eating the Jell-O, the heels on the floor. We stick the spoon savagely into the Jell-O. Laughing at the farty Jell-O sounds, I said, "I'm pretty sure this is made from whales or hooves or something." And this look on his face when he says, "Really?" That he looks at me like I knew everything. Like that was the moment he realized I knew stuff. He knew I knew stuff, but he thought I was a bucket, and then he realized that I was a well. But I just feel like an ocean, heavy and full of that deep sea shame. I think this is the last thing. Seems like the last thing. I feel like maybe I'll read this thing from my phone because it's really short and it seems like good like poems in the age of the world or something. You know what I mean? This is from January at 6:32 in the morning. I Google none without believing in God. I Google how to not be jealous. I Google capacity for forgiveness, I Google first childhood memory. I Google first adult memory. I Google porn. I Google boll weevil. I Google how to get out of this mess. I Google ouch. I Google knowing for sure. I Google isn't it funny. I Google implantation bleeding. I Google pear butter. I Google grape flavor smell. I Google haircuts. I Google how to not be scared. Thanks, and James Payne is next, right? And he has a book called Things Just Aren't They, and it's really aren't they. It's good. It's really good. So you should buy it. It's on a sliding scale. $5 to $10. And thanks for Uncharted Books letting us read here, and thanks for sending it. I've never said this type of thing during a reading before, so I'm very really mad at it. Thanks to Chicago for cities, being a city, and January's here. Declare asparagus after they say to you, every day we should discover something about each other's bodies. Do this in public with iced coffee coming up and then out of your nose. Laugh at the suggestion. Tell the person this sounds gross and embarrassing. But maybe later that day, do it. Have sex with this person. After you have sex with them, pee in the toilet while they pee in the sink. Discover and discuss how your pee smells strongly of coffee after a strong iced coffee. Agree that you're both into it. Like sex with this person. Appreciate your mutual appreciation for the post-toddy pee phenomenon. Go to them with asparagus in your hands. Say, I came here today with asparagus because today I want to discover if asparagus makes your pee smell weird and if you even like asparagus. If you're wondering, it's yes to both for me and no to having sex with or using asparagus. Think that, quote, the Germans would be down for that. Think, quote, Germans are freaks when it comes to asparagus. Maybe text the person, asparagus, yes. The Germans only fuck with white asparagus. Feel only a little bothered or feel only obligated to be bothered that you are thinking about sex with that person as your grandmother describes to you how in Germany they grow asparagus in giant mounds above the ground, and when the tip's poking out, they dig a little mound all around it so there's just tender little white stalk, and then they go there and they just clip it. Wince at this. Wince as your grandmother gestures explaining. Do not move your head. Keep your eyes on the birds in the lattice in the garden. And feel your mouth slowly falling open. In your head, not the word or the image, just the vague and throbbing concept. Clit, clit, clit. Begin to not see the differences between violence, sex, and asparagus. Endure certain violences. You want to tell or warn the sex person about the Germans, about the asparagus. So write it all down, maybe in a letter. Maybe it's a love poem. Consider titles like Sex, Germans, Asparagus, or What We Talk About When We Talk About Asparagus. Save it, asparagus.doc. Print out a hard copy. Stick it in a blue folder. Mouth the letters with a Sharpie. E-D-I-T. Nights happen. Days happen to you too. Consider sticking your pills in hummus to trick yourself like you would a cat.